The champagne's been popped. The wine is flowing. I can just mute your track. The champagne's been popped. No, you do it. Yo, go on.
The champagne's been popped. You go.
No, I want to. You gotta finish this now. You started it.
No.
Do it.
Mm-mm.
Go on.
Mm-mm.
Go on.
Mm-mm.
Let's hear it. I won't look at you. Go.
You just do it.
A couple of yucks over here. The champagne's been popped. The wine is flowing. So you know where we're going. We're going on a backlot tour, and I'm tour guide Captain Zach, and as with me always is, the beans.
Or Jana.
Whatever. We're gonna do a D hue. D hue. Does it hold up?
Oh.
And apparently this movie is not a movie.
I just went to Dewey Duck when you were like
Dewey Duck. We established this. D hue.
a while ago.
It's a D hue. This movie was impossible to find on IMDb because it's listed under. What was it listed under?
Wonderful World of Disney.
We're talking
as
about
an episode.
We're talking. Yeah, it's an episode of Wonderful World of Disney. We're talking about the 1997 classic, Tower of Terror.
Starring Kirsten Dunst?
No, Steve Guttenberg is the star.
Melora Hardin is the star.
I can't name any more people. Someone else. Everyone else. That guy.
Yep.
Does it hold up? Beans, let them know.
It is flawless.
Flawless.
I have no notes.
No notes. Goodbye. This is the end of the episode. Perfect fucking movie.
I do have some notes though.
No. How dare you?
It's really just with the commercial breaks. Since
Well,
it's clearly made for TV.
Well, we
had to buy it on iTunes to watch it.
No. It was I own it on DVD.
Oh,
That's
right.
what we
It wasn't even on iTunes.
It still had the commercial fade
we had
outs.
to go through rummage through things.
Well, we thought it might exist on something, and then I was like, oh wait, I own this on DVD, and it was 4:3, very bad quality.
Because there wasn't even an option to buy it.
I doubt this exists in higher quality than what we have. Seriously, I
Yeah.
don't think it does. But if you haven't seen this movie, full stop, try to find it. It's worth a watch.
It's worth the $15 on Amazon to get the DVD.
Is that how much it was on there?
Something like that.
I mean, it's literally on IMDb. I was like, where is this? What it doesn't exist. And I was like, you're like, oh, it's an episode of Wonderful World of Disney. And I scrolled through that and I was like, this movie is like an episode of this? How dare you?
Okay, so Tower of Terror actually opened up in 1994 at MGM.
That means they were probably filming this 2 years after it opened.
I do not think that the story and the Hollywood Tower Hotel, Tower of Terror at the park, with Rod Sterling and everything, I don't think that's the same
Sterling
story.
or Sterling?
Sterling.
I think it's Sterling.
Why don't you look it up while I'm talking?
This is embarrassing. I'm gonna fact check you in real time.
Yeah. I don't think it was I don't know, when you're in the pre-show and you're watching that and everything and you're seeing everybody go on the elevator and stuff, it clearly looks like they're a family. It's a husband, wife, and daughter and the nanny. And
the bellhop.
Yeah, the bellhop. So I definitely don't think that this is
No, it's definitely supposed to be the thing from the.
Well, no. Of course it is, but just that it
the story wise.
The story wise is not the same. It's
because Melora Hardin's not the mom.
Melora Hardin's not the mom. The man is not the dad.
Yeah. Which the whole time I was like, we didn't think they were a couple because he's being a fucking dick to her.
He was being a real dick.
And then he was like, "Oh, you obviously fancy Steve Guttenberg."
A little flamboyant.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was very flirty with Steve Guttenberg.
She's like, also, did they have all of them have corporeal form? They were touching, they were like,
yeah.
She was like, "Oh, come this way." And I'm like, wait a minute, can they just not leave the property?
I don't think they can leave the property. No.
Okay.
I think they're tied.
But they could punch him in the face if they wanted, or terrify them because there were actual scenes that were a little creepy,
scary.
When the
you
headless
said,
guy, the tray, the body is coming towards him, and it's just really.
Well, you said that you could use the same.
You can use the same script
and make it a terrifying movie.
You could punch this up, give it to Guillermo del Toro, and make this thing fucking terrifying. Because it could literally be the same premise and the same storyline, and make it not so hokey.
Well, I mean, even with the comedy in there, if you deliver those lines in a different kind of way, it'd still be humorous, but it'd be more dark.
Well, it's got like a good twist.
yeah,
It's
very
like
good twist with the sister.
because like I don't even remember that when we first watched it, and I was like, then you're like, isn't it this? And I'm like, oh yeah, it is, isn't it? And like she goes like nuts. She's a nutso.
She is a nutso.
It was good pacing, good reveal. I'm like, this movie has no business being as good as it is. I don't know if we're praising it too much or not enough.
Not enough, I think. And this goes back to
I don't
our
think a lot of people realize this exists.
Melora Hardin verse.
Yeah, about that she has to sing in every movie, and like that this is just a continuation of The Rocketeer.
And then The Office is a continuation of this.
Oh no, this is her
No.
first performance. Oh no,
Oh man, there goes that.
so close, man.
Well, maybe her first like big performance. I don't know.
I don't know. It was the same kind of performance. It was like
I
a
don't
dinner
know.
party.
I'm
it
trying
looked
to. I was trying to make it work.
like. Yeah. Well, in our heads, it'll still be correct. But like, we read that like this was like the first foray into turning an attraction into a movie, and after this one, it was Mission Space, and then Country Bears.
Well, Mission to Mars.
Mission to Mars, Country Bears, then you get Pirates, then you get Haunted Mansion, and then way later Jungle Cruise.
Which is interesting because like I never heard of this movie until you or Ryan told me about it, and I had never heard of Mission to Mars.
I still don't know what that is.
I don't either. Maybe that'll be one we watch one day.
No, we had to watch Country Bears.
Oh god,
I
I
heard it's-
remember Country
I heard
Bears
it's like the
coming
big
out.
nightmare.
And just
Well, it's like it's interesting. Why would you do Country Bears over any like? Was that big in the '90s? I don't think it was.
no, I mean no bigger than it is now. Like
I mean, it's like the you reverse engineer because a lot of the rides are already based on like movies, whereas this is like, oh, we're gonna like make a ride, then it's gonna be the movie, you know. And Tower of Terror, I don't know if this was well received or not. It was like a 6, I think, or 6.7 on IMDb, maybe.
which isn't terrible, especially for like a
It's better than a lot of
made-for-TV
big
movie.
Hollywood movies right now. So,
yeah.
but like, I don't know how to gauge this on because it's not like a technical big release, and then I don't know if Mission to Mars was good either.
I'm kind of surprised that it was not a decom.
Yeah, it definitely has a decom feel. It definitely maybe this is what like it was supposed to be a decom, but
Well,
wait, do decoms are only on Disney Channel? This is on
Yeah.
ABC, so this is
Yeah.
bigger then.
it had more
Right.
reach, yeah.
Yeah,
because
ABC.
it was Wonderful World of Disney. That was like a Sunday night thing. You turn on the TV and
Yeah,
you
that's
get a
how
Disney
we
movie.
because we didn't have cables for a long time,
Yeah.
so we would just tape ABC on Sunday. That's how we got like the Ewok Adventure and Battle for Endor, and like a bunch of the other like ones that would show.
But if you look back at like Wonderful World of Disney's like episodes, quote unquote, that they're calling them,
Yeah, what
like
I look what else was on there?
Toy Story. You know, it
Like
was
they
like
they showed Toy
it was
Story.
yeah, like actual Disney movies.
Oh,
Yeah, it's weird. And then on the decom note, like I looked it up and just like, well, when was the first Disney Channel original movie? And apparently there's some debate about which was like the
see,
actual
I still think
first,
Mr. Boogedy
but
was
it's not.
in my world. That is a decom technically. When did that get released?
In the
89,
80s.
88, maybe. Maybe that's when I had cable. Because I
But,
wouldn't be
like,
able to see that anymore.
Well, when they start, I guess maybe it's like when they started calling them Disney Channel original movies. It was like the first one. I forget what it was called, but it premiered the day after this movie, or the day before. Is that the day before or day after this movie?
So this is technically probably a decom. I'd call this a decom. It definitely felt like that.
But it's not.
Yeah, but
It's a Wawad.
a what?
Wawad.
Oh, well, wad. Is that? I don't like that.
Wonderful World of Disney.
But like, I mean, it's hokey and cheesy at times, but like, it kind of takes itself seriously at times. It's the effects are like not amazing, obviously, but like, there's some that are
Were
like,
there any effects?
yeah, I mean, kind of some bad green screen and stuff. There wasn't a ton.
I do like that it was filmed on location at MGM Studios.
Probably saved a ton of money actually.
Yeah. I wonder if they like were they trying to promote Disney World?
I think they're
too?
probably just trying to
You
get
know?
more people to go to MGM.
Yeah, that park
and-
was failing for a while.
But I mean, like, I feel like that was probably a
It's
really
having
popular
an
ride,
identity
right?
crisis.
Well, yeah, because I mean, there wasn't a ton of rides at that point. Because it was like I remember when it first opened, we went, and it was
Well,
like great movie
yeah.
ride, backlight tour, Indiana Jones maybe at that
Yeah,
point still,
and Star
then
Tours.
I don't know.
Star Tours was one of the first
First?
attractions.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't remember that.
Well, just because you don't remember it doesn't mean.
I remember like going when this was like early on, like opened, and then like it wasn't a ton of stuff. I still loved it because the backlot tour and the movie ride. But like, what else would have been there?
Star Tours is the only like original
When did Muppets
ride
come?
still there.
Was that one of the
It
originals?
was after Jim Henson died,
I don't know.
right, like around the time we did, and that was like 91 or something.
I mean, this is probably a big get to get this and Rock and Roller Coaster because you need thrill rides at this park. They've learned because they're like, oh, Epcot needs thrill rides, so they start throwing
Well,
thrill
it
rides
was
in.
only like a half day park, and
Yeah, it's a very small park, but I think it still packs the best punch of all the parks. Personally,
Yes.
that was a lot of peas because it's my favorite park. It's easy to get around because it's a lot smaller, so you're like I can get from one end to the other,
fairly quickly.
Yeah, it's my favorite park. It's always been my favorite park. So
We're digressing.
yeah. Anyways, back to Tot, the Tower of Terror, as we call it. I have a problem with these ghost movies like this. Like the same thing happened even in the last Ghostbusters and the Ghostbusters 2016 is like the effects for ghosts to me look like garbage. And nothing compares to 1984 Ghostbusters that is like practical effects because that is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking about this, like the librarian scene in the beginning is still scary because it's like they had a real dummy, like a real like animatronic or whatever doing that. If you like, and we've talked about this, like I don't know if there's people in Hollywood that still know how to do these things, the practical effects, because if they did a Haunted Mansion or if they did like Tower of Terror over, it would benefit greatly from actual practical effects.
But you know they're only going to do digital effects.
I know that's
is
the thing. It's like it could be so terrifying.
it's
with
like
real
that's
stuff.
why like Jurassic Park was so
Yeah.
amazing because they built those dinosaurs.
It's also like they
a
had
lot
to
of them.
work outside the box because they knew their limitations. So it's like everyone nowadays is just like, oh, we could just do it in post. But I'm like, if you took the time to actually make these things physical in the real environment, I'll get to J.J. Abrams for episode 7 because he went out of his way to make the puppets and like make it feel more like A New Hope and the original ones and not rely as much on CG. If they went that route, it would be leaps and bounds better, I think, and not rely on actual because the actors will be reacting for real, not just to like a tennis ball on a stick,
Yeah.
you know. So I don't know.
Which I do think is kind of impressive, though, that the actors can put forth that kind of quality effort when they're reacting to a tennis ball on a stick.
And then in this version, the Melora Hardin character, Kirsten Dunst plays her. Full circle.
Kirsten.
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten.
And then the dad. No, it's not the dad. Who? Her
Uncle.
fiance. That's not even her uncle. What that
Oh,
was?
I'm
was it?
thinking of Steve Gutenberg was Kirsten Dunst's uncle.
Oh, who's gonna be Steve Gutenberg then? Steve Gutenberg. Still Steve Gutenberg. That'd
And
be.
it would be somebody younger, obviously, to have a niece as young as Kirsten Dunst was in this
Yeah.
movie. Which also, too, it's just like, how did they get Kirsten Dunst?
That's
for
a
this?
get because like she'd just been nominated for an Oscar for Interview with the Vampire in '94.
Well, not just.
94. This is probably filmed in '94 or '95. Or
She's
96 maybe.
much older in this movie than she was in Interview. In Interview, she's like
Well,
8 years old or something.
Interview. I think it was filmed like you gotta think like it gets in production for like 2 years sometimes for movies like this.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily the case for back then.
No, I think it's more of a case back then.
Mm.
Sometimes these things get caught in limbo too, because like the amount of red tape and like back dealings that like have to go through to get these things made. It's amazing anything gets made these days, or back then.
Okay, so she was 12 when Interview came out. She would have been 15 when this movie came out.
Let's be honest, she fucking destroyed in that movie, and like she did not need to do this movie. Is the other thing like. In terms of like,
Well, wasn't she kind of a no-name in Interview?
yeah, and she got nominated for an Oscar because she did like insane.
Yeah, but I'm saying like she probably
There's
didn't
no,
make
she
much
did
money.
Jumanji at this point.
Oh yeah, Jumanji. She had done that.
Like, which was also huge. And then there was one more, I think. I can't remember what. But like she was like becoming that huge star, and then
she was
did a
an it
DCOM
girl
basically.
in the 90s.
Yeah. And then went on to do Spider-Man.
Little Women.
Little
was
Women,
it,
yeah. So like it was not like she needed to do like a DCOM. And this is her only Disney movie because like you think like if it's an in to get into like doing more Disney movies, that's why you would do it, I guess. But she doesn't have any others to her name. So I don't know. I wonder what happened there.
Maybe she didn't have a good time on this film.
Maybe. I mean, Steve Gutenberg at this point was really well established, but like maybe he was like, I'm sick of doing Police Academy because like he did like 6 of them, I think, or 5. 3 Minute Little Baby, 3 Minute Little Lady, which I think are Disney also, aren't they? Right?
I think they're. What's theirs? Touchstone.
That might,
Yeah,
if
they're
it's Touchdown,
Touchstone,
then
yeah.
yeah, it's okay. But yeah, it's like it's interesting that like who ended up in this movie. But yeah, it if it got remade, it'd be you could make this a fucking terrifying good movie easily and not that expensive. I
Yeah.
think
Especially if you decide to still film on
if
location.
you film on location and
Because
like,
like all they'd really have to do is shut down the Tower of Terror for like 2 or 3 months. You
Yeah.
know,
well, they do that anyways.
they do.
But it's like
Like refurbish the ride while you're doing this. You know.
it's tough because there was no nod whatsoever to a Twilight Zone in this. You know, that's the other thing. It's like it is a Twilight Zone ride, but it's not a Twilight Zone movie. So it's like if they did the movie route, would it follow more of like picking and choosing of like taking things from Twilight Zone rather than this?
I think if you want it to be a little bit spookier, you need to go the Twilight Zone route.
Anyways, who's gonna play Steve Gutenberg though? And don't say The Rock.
God no,
God, that'd be terrible.
Vin Diesel.
That might be even worse.
No, I don't know. How old was Steve Gutenberg in this? Like
Probably
30s,
no, I think he was in his 40s at this point.
40s, but early 40s.
So we do
Old enough to have a 12-year-old niece, 15-year-old niece. She was 15.
I mean, at this point, it'd just be Jack Black. We know it.
Please don't say those things.
Timothée Chalamet.
No, he's way too young. Channing Tatum.
It's not Channing Tatum. You know, not like a buff dude.
Well, I'm just thinking of like the male stars right now who are in
Chris
their early 40s.
Pratt.
Yes.
You need someone without kids. I feel like for some
Yes.
reason.
I think Chris Pratt would be like perfect. He's got that fun vibe to him, that cool uncle.
Or just throw Owen Wilson in it so he can be Haunted Mansion and Todd.
Oh my god.
I feel like that actually is a better fit than Haunted Mansion.
Only if he can say
Who's
Ka-chow.
Melora Hardin then?
What if though you cast Chris Pratt and then Aubrey Plaza?
As Melora Hardin?
Yeah.
Whoa.
How amazing would that be though?
It's going to take a different turn. You put her in it, it's just going to be instantly like darker for some reason. I don't know. I don't need to fan cast it, but I was just curious. Like, I don't know. Also, who would direct it?
ScarJo.
I don't think that's happening.
Guillermo del Toro.
I know they said it's like back on after like they had their spat. I doubt there's bad blood still. I think.
Ooh, Disney's taken a lot of hits since then, so I'm sure that is one that is being dropped.
Because she was directing and producing, wasn't she? Like that was the deal, right?
I think she is writing it too.
I mean, seriously, you just like look at this movie. You pull the script from this. I know like we dog on remakes and like sequels, but like there is something in this movie that like you could easily take the story and just recraft it a little bit, get it in the right writer's hands, and make this thing sing.
Yeah, I don't know writers. You know,
I mean, I don't know. I thought this
I
writer
don't.
did a
I
bad
barely
job.
even know directors, honestly.
Tim Burton.
God, please don't give it to him.
I feel like it could be good.
Yeah, but look at what he's done with other things.
Yeah, but look what he's done with Beetlejuice.
But look at what he did with his most recent line of work.
We didn't see Wednesday, so I don't know.
We haven't seen that yet, no.
But
I
we do
mean,
know
like-
what he did with Disney, and Dumbo was fucking terrible.
Exactly.
Whenever he does a
It's
remake,
like-
actually, whenever he does a remake, I feel like it's usually terrible.
If it's not his like original idea,
Yeah,
it's kind of bad.
yeah.
So
I'm very, very like cautious about Beetlejuice 2.
well, that's
So.
different. Yeah, I just don't think I know like directors or producers well enough
I
to.
feel like you need one that has like a darker streak for this. Maybe a Guillermo del Toro. Give him this instead of Haunted Mansion.
It'd be so good.
Anyways, final thoughts on this movie?
No notes.
No notes. Flawless.
Flawless.
Except remake it. You guys did
I-
good, but we can do better.
I mean, it's one I want to watch with the kids, and
I
it's
think it might scare them at this point.
right now in like a year or two.
There's
I
some
think they'll
scenes
be
that I was like,
fine.
this is going to scare them.
Yeah, scenes that scared me.
Yeah.
But
Like when the ghosts are trying to scare her, it was definitely like, I was like, this is a little
I'm
weird.
pretty weak sauce when it comes to scary movies.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I get scared of the scary movies.
Oh, like Scary Movie 1.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I get scared of Ghostbusters.
Well, there's some scary parts in that. They take it so so
Yeah.
seriously. That's why it's kind of scary still.
Yeah.
And I think if you do the same thing with this, I think
So I think this was like teetering that line. For
maybe
me.
give it to Ivan Reitman's son, who did the last Ghostbusters.
That scared me too.
Maybe he could do it.
It still scared me.
I don't know. Okay.
I was up all night watching.
Well, I
the
think this
TV
movie's gonna be a
one.
scary movie. I think it's gonna toe the line between being scary and funny.
No, yeah, no, I
Although,
agree.
like the ride is very serious. So
The ride scares me.
yeah,
Like, I love the
there's
ride
so much
itself,
tension built
but
up.
it gets my anxiety so high just going through that line queue
Yeah.
and the pre-show and everything that it's one reason I don't really like to ride it so much now.
It's
Is
just too scary.
like if you could just walk on it and not have to go through everything and
Well,
go
that's
through
what
the
got Olivia. It's
pre-show.
like the tension and build up. I think because she saw
Like
the
I would be
pre-show.
good.
Yeah.
So I think like in Disneyland, the Guardians version, I'd probably be fine.
Well, it's,
You
it's
know,
like
but
happy-go-lucky kind of like ragtag
Yeah.
group of like misfits.
but because like I said, I enjoy the ride itself.
This is you're going to a different dimension. The
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff has always spooked me as much
What
as
you
I
see here is a
love
service
the
elevator.
show.
Yeah.
So
Anyways, we watched this for the second time after 10, 12, 15 years. I don't know how long this was. What was it? How long have we been together?
16 years.
Oof, jeez.
We probably watched this
We watched this early on, I feel
5
like.
or 6 years ago.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it does hold up. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it again. It's a very watchable movie, and it has no business being this good. So
It is great. 10 out of 10 recommend.
I highly recommend it. Like,
Yep.
as far as what'd you call it? A wow?
Wad.
What?
Wad.
Oh, that's a terrible name. I'm going to workshop
Like
that
your
one.
DHU?
DQ is awesome. Quad is terrible.
Let us know in the comments, folks.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Actually, podcasts don't have comments. Comment section, maybe. Or they do rating review. I don't know.
DM us? I don't know. Anyways,
There's a great, big, pretty okay tomorrow.
shining at the end of every day.